What if I told you that the treasure you've been searching for your entire life is not where you think it is? What if everything you've been chasing, success, happiness, fulfillment, has been right under your nose this whole time, and you just couldn't see it? Today, we're diving deep into one of the most life-changing books ever written, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. This isn't just a story about a shepherd boy looking for treasure. It's a mirror that reflects your own journey, your own dreams, and the fears that are holding you back right now. Published in 1988, this book has sold over 150 million copies worldwide, and it's been translated into 80 languages. Why? Because it speaks a universal truth that every single person needs to hear. The story follows Santiago, a young shepherd from Spain who has a recurring dream about finding treasure at the Egyptian pyramids. Instead of ignoring this dream like most people would, he decides to leave everything behind and pursue it. And what happens on that journey is what we're going to explore today, because his journey is your journey. By the end of this video, you'll understand why you've been stuck, why your dreams feel so far away, and most importantly, what you need to do about it starting today. Listen to your personal legend. The book introduces this beautiful concept called your personal legend. It's basically your life's purpose, the thing you were born to do. For Santiago, his personal legend was to find the treasure he saw in his dreams. But here's what most people miss. Everyone has a personal legend, yet most people never follow it. When Santiago tells the old king about his dream, the king says something powerful. When you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you achieve it. But that help only begins when you truly want it, when you're brave enough to pursue it, not just think about it. Think about when you were a child. You had dreams that felt real, alive, and completely possible. Maybe you wanted to be an artist, a musician, an entrepreneur, or a writer. Back then, no one had told you it was impossible. You didn't worry about failure. You just believed. Then life happened. People started giving advice. They told you to be realistic, to get a real job, to stop dreaming and start settling. Slowly, without even noticing, you buried that personal legend under layers of responsibility, fear, and doubt. Now, we all know who J.K. Rowling is. She's the woman who introduced us to the world of Harry Potter. But before that magic ever reached us, she was a single mother living on welfare, writing in cafes with nothing but a story and belief. Her personal legend was to tell stories. Everyone around her had practical advice: get a stable job, focus on survival. But she listened to that inner voice. And we all know how that turned out. This is exactly what The Alchemist is trying to remind us. Your personal legend doesn't disappear just because you ignore it. It waits. And the longer you ignore it, the louder the dissatisfaction inside you becomes. The actionable step here is simple, but not easy. Take 15 minutes today and write down what you wanted to be when you were 10 years old. Not what you thought you should be. Not what others expected from you. What you actually wanted. That childhood dream is not random. It's a clue. It's a signal pointing toward your personal legend. The deeper truth is this: your personal legend isn't just about achieving something outside of you. It's about becoming who you truly are. The world is one great book. Early in his journey, Santiago meets a crystal merchant who once dreamed of making a pilgrimage to Mecca. But year after year, he postponed it. He made excuses. He said he needed to save more money, wait for the right time, get his business more stable. And now, as an old man, he's still in the same shop, and his dream has become just a fantasy he uses to get through the day. This is what Coelho calls the world's greatest lie, that at a certain point in our lives, we lose control of what's happening to us, and our lives become controlled by fate. It's the lie that says it's too late, you're too old, you don't have enough resources, the timing isn't right. But here's the truth: the only thing stopping you is the story you keep telling yourself. Let's look at a real example. Colonel Sanders was 62 when he franchised KFC. Stan Lee created his first hit comic at 39. These people didn't let the world's greatest lie control their narrative. The merchant in the story is tragic because he's more in love with the dream than the reality of pursuing it. He's comfortable in his misery because at least he still has something to dream about. This is where most people live. not in pursuit of their dreams, but in the comfortable fantasy of someday. Fear is the biggest obstacle. In the book, Santiago gets robbed. He loses all his money in a foreign land where he doesn't even speak the language. This is the moment most people would quit. Pack up. Go home. Say, I tried, and it didn't work out. But Santiago doesn't do that. He works for the crystal merchant for almost a year, saves money, and continues his journey. Here's what Paulo is teaching us. The path to your personal legend will test you. It will break you down. It will make you question everything. And that's exactly the point. Fear shows up in so many disguises. It shows up as practicality. Be realistic. It shows up as concern from loved ones. We just don't want you to get hurt. It shows up as past failures. Remember what happened last time? It even shows up as success. You've got a good thing going, why risk it? The fear Santiago felt when he got robbed was the universe asking him a question. How badly do you want this? And through his actions, he answered, badly enough to keep going. The deep truth here is that fear isn't the enemy, it's the compass. It points you toward what matters most. If it didn't matter, you wouldn't be afraid. Your fear is actually confirmation that you're on the right path. Omens and signs are everywhere. Throughout the book, Santiago learns to read omens, signs from the universe guiding him toward his personal legend. He sees hawks in the desert, he interprets his dreams, he notices coincidences that aren't really coincidences. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds mystical and impractical. But stay with me, because this is actually one of the most practical lessons in the entire book. Omens are just another word for awareness. When you're truly committed to something, you start noticing opportunities, connections, and resources that were always there. You just weren't paying attention. It's like when you buy a new car, and suddenly you see that same car everywhere. The cars were always there. You just weren't tuned in to notice them. Steve Jobs talked about this when he said, "You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backward." The omens are the dots, but you have to be present enough to see them. The deeper wisdom is this. Life isn't random. There's an intelligence in the unfolding of events, but you have to be awake enough to see it. The omens aren't out there. They're showing you what's already inside you. The treasure is where your heart is. This is the big one. The twist at the end of the book that changes everything. After Santiago travels across deserts, nearly dies multiple times, and finally reaches the pyramids, he discovers that the treasure was actually buried back home, under the tree where he used to sleep with his sheep. Some people read this and feel cheated, like the whole journey was pointless. But that completely misses the point. Santiago needed to go on that journey to become the person who could recognize the treasure. If someone had told him at the beginning that the treasure was under that tree, he would have dug it up and remained the same simple shepherd he'd always been. The journey transformed him. He learned languages. He understood the soul of the world. He met the love of his life. He learned to turn himself into the wind. He became an alchemist. The destination was never the point. The journey is what makes you worthy of the destination. You don't chase your personal legend to get something. You chase it to become someone. Love doesn't hold you back. Santiago meets Fatima in the desert, and he falls deeply in love. And for a moment, he considers staying with her and abandoning his journey to the pyramids. But Fatima says something beautiful. If I am really part of your dream, you'll come back one day. This is such an important lesson about relationships. Real love doesn't ask you to abandon your personal legend. Real love supports it, encourages it, waits for it. If someone truly loves you, they want you to become who you're meant to be, even if it means temporary separation. When you pursue your personal legend, you don't lose the people who are meant to be in your life. You attract them. And the ones who leave weren't your people anyway. True love multiplies your possibility. It doesn't divide it. Becoming is the real alchemy. The alchemists in the story can turn lead into gold. But that's not what the book is really about. The real alchemy is turning yourself into the best version of who you can be. It's about transformation. Santiago starts as a simple shepherd who's content with a simple life. By the end, he's someone who has conversed with the wind, understood the language of the world, and realized his own power. That's the real treasure. Alchemy isn't magic, it's growth. It's the painful, beautiful process of becoming. The mistake most people make is thinking that the goal is to avoid struggle. But the struggle is the whole point. The struggle is what transforms you from lead into gold. The personal legend isn't just about achieving a goal, it's about who you become in the pursuit. And that person you become? That's the real treasure. The soul of the world connects everything. One of the most beautiful concepts in The Alchemist is the soul of the world. This idea that everything in the universe is connected, and when you tap into that connection, you tap into infinite wisdom and power. Santiago learns that the wind, the sun, the desert, everything has a soul, and everything is connected through love. This isn't just poetic language. There's a practical truth here. When you're aligned with your personal legend, you start to feel this connection. Opportunities appear. The right people show up. Resources materialize. It's not magic, it's alignment. You're moving with the current instead of against it. Your personal legend isn't just your dream, it's the universe dreaming through you. When you align with it, you align with everything. You must act in the present moment. Throughout the book, there's this emphasis on the present moment. Santiago learns to read the signs right in front of him, to make decisions based on what's happening now, not what might happen in the future. The crystal merchant lived in the future. Someday I'll go to Mecca. The baker lived in the past. I used to dream of traveling. But Santiago learned to live in the present. What do I need to do right now to move forward? This is where most people get stuck. They're so focused on the end goal that they forget about the step right in front of them. They want to write a book, but won't write a page. They want to run a marathon, but won't lace up their shoes. They want to change their life, but won't change their day. The future is just a concept. It doesn't exist. The past is just a memory. It's already gone. The only moment you have any power in is right now. And when you stack enough powerful right nows together, you create an extraordinary life. You already have everything you need. This is the final, most important lesson. Everything Santiago needed to complete his journey was already within him from the beginning. The courage, the wisdom, the intuition, it was all there. The journey didn't give him new abilities. It revealed the ones he already had. This is true for you too. You already have everything you need to pursue your personal legend. The people who achieve their personal legends aren't the ones who wait until they're ready. They're the ones who start before they're ready. Stop preparing. Stop researching. Take one action today toward your personal legend with exactly what you have right now. Just start. Santiago's journey teaches us something simple, but uncomfortable. The only thing separating the life you're living from the life you want is action. He didn't start with confidence. He didn't start with certainty. He started by choosing to move. Everything he needed was already inside him. The courage, the intuition, the strength. The journey didn't create those qualities. It revealed them. And that's true for you too. Your personal legend isn't hidden somewhere in the future. It's been calling you your entire life. Through your curiosity, your restlessness, that quiet feeling that there's more you're meant to do. The reason most people never find their treasure isn't because they lack talent or opportunity. It's because they keep waiting. Waiting for the right time. Waiting for clarity. Waiting for the first day of the new year. But the universe doesn't respond to waiting. It responds to movement. When you take one step, just one, the path begins to unfold. Opportunities appear. People show up. Answers arrive after action, not before it. So don't treat your personal legend like a wish. Treat it like a decision. Not on the first day of the new year. Not someday. Take one small action today, something imperfect, something uncomfortable, something real. Because every step you take toward your personal legend is a step toward becoming who you're meant to be. The treasure is waiting. The journey is calling. And it begins the moment you decide to move. If this video helped you see your own path more clearly, let me know in the comments.